3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Hands up, reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right, to your left, center. Inhale, exhale. Hands up, reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right, to your left, center. Inhale, exhale. Okay, one more time. Hands up, reach down toward your toes. 2, 3. To your right, to your left, center. Inhale, exhale. Hands on your waist, circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Center cross. Hold your knees. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Hands on your waist, neck turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Center. Down. Circular movements. 2, 3. Continue other way. 1, 2, and 3. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Spread your feet. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, If you want, you can, this first row can step up a bit to give some room, space out a little. Yeah. Okay, switch. 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 Straighten the front knee. Switch. 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 Center. Okay, shake it out. Okay, hands up. Pull in, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands in your waist. Shoulder roll. 1. Reverse. And center. Press, release, exhale, inhale. And stop. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, wrists. Reverse. Center, palms down, big circle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, shake it out. Side to side. Okay, lift. Okay, insert needle. Switch. And center. Okay, leg swing. Switch. Okay, center, side to side. Switch. Okay, center. Deep breathing, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Okay, so grilling. Switch. Okay, center, open and close. Switch. Okay, center. Circular movements. Okay, lower hook. Shoulder height. Elbows down. Okay, palms down. Extend. Okay. Okay, deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Diagonal flying. Switch. Okay, Sana. Cloud hands. Okay, palms down. Carry tiger to the mountain. Okay, infinity sign. Okay, form the fist. Okay, palms together, strum the lute. Okay, draw the bow. Okay, fan to the back. Okay, raise the hand. Okay, the palms down. Deep breathing. Inhale. Okay, go to the short form. You want to shift around a little if, yeah. Okay, ready? Preparation. So let's run through the cloud hands a few times with the leg work. So we start off here. Create the first circular movement on the left. Now once we get to this corner, feel your body shift and then shift. And then the other hand follows. If you notice this right foot starts to move, you see it pivots on the heel. Okay, so now once this hand starts to drift across, tie this hand to that foot as if it's connected with this imaginary thread. So it's kind of driving or pulling that foot across. So now you have some integration of the units working together. That's upper-lower coordination. So we start to pull that across. So that's just a concept. But that allows you to begin to tie that together. Then once you get to this point, you shift your weight. Okay. So first you're pivoting on the heel, then you roll to the toe, and then you feel the weight going forward over that supporting leg. Then we bring the foot up, then the toe touches, then the heel contacts, change the hands. So there's your vertical up and down. Right? Then you're going to pivot on the heel. Now same thing applies here. When this hand goes across, it's like it's connected to that foot. Then we shift, then we turn the hip. Drop the hands. Here's your vertical up and down on this side, and you step out. You begin to open the hip or pivot with that foot, and the hand and that foot start to work together. And then this hand reconnects, and then we're down. Okay, so that's what the hands and feet have to do. You know, that's why we pivot to take us in a direction, and the whole body is actually working, you know, as if the hands are pulling the leg or the legs are pulling the hand. You know, that same as insert needle. When I lift this hand, it's like lifting this knee. When this knee goes down, it's like the hand is being pulled down. Okay. So that's just that connection, right? So let's try that again. Okay. We're turning and shifting. Now once the weight begins to transition across, this frees up that back leg. Then you shift like this. You touch down and you settle down. You're on your heel. Shift your weight. Now you can spin again. And you touch down, open, and tie it together. And then shift, toe down, heel down as the hands go up. And transition again. So now if you were to go into single whip, back to this initial starting position, you would hook your wrist here and connect at the wrists. Open your stance as we did before. And then once you start to transition across, this hand starts to go across. And you overturn it to you in that corner. And then you're back to center. And then you would close. Now you're in the hoop position. You reverse the ball. And then you pivot on the toe, the ball of the foot. Then it goes to the heel. And then you bring this hand across as if you're pulling this foot over. And then we start to drift this way. As we bring the foot behind, you feel the weight going back as the hands go forward and the front foot straightens. Then you step aside. You lean into that with the elbow. Bring the weight back to this center and down. So that's a relationship of upper-lower coordination, but that's in the cloud hands, and you have to practice it till you can at least get the sense of what parts are moving, All right, so let's try that again. Okay, so that's just, how it works, but you have to kind of just house that information and then try to get the hands and feet to coordinate. Now, when we're in this corner and we shift, now you have a toe-heel relationship. Then in the vertical line, when the toe touches and you start to go up and down with the hands, then when this heel of this foot goes down, then the heel of your palm settles. You see? So where the hand and feet tie together, the knees and the elbows tie together, and then the hips and the shoulders go together. Now, when the heel goes down, the palm is down. Down meaning that it has an intent of motion, and the settling of the wrists create the seating of the wrists. See, this is okay. So you get the idea. It's something that you just have to play around with till your body starts to get familiar. So while you're thinking through it, each component, which is your feet, your toe, your knees, your elbows, your shoulders, the rotation of the torso, is what actually starts to blend all of this together. Let's see. So that's what upper lower coordination is, where the wrists, ankles, elbows, and knees, and the shoulders and the hips build this relationship. So, okay, so let's try the long form again, short form again, and we'll try to bring some of that in. Ready? Preparation. Okay, good. So that was better, huh? So let's go through the long form. Okay, ready? Okay, deep breathing. So in the footwork, just like in cloud hands, when we do the stepping, that principle of shifting the weight and being solid and empty on one leg at a time is differentiating between the solid and empty. So you have to distinguish which side is carrying the weight, and that's easy to understand, is which side carries weight. But to distinguish it becomes a sensitivity, a feeling in your position. So one of the feelings that you would feel is the pressure on the soles of your feet. When you shift, the more weight there is, the more pressure is on the soles of your feet. Gives you feedback to the brain, and it tells you where your body is relative to the space. So that's why that's important. And then going back to the concept of your, joints working together, where there's a harmony or relationship in those areas. When we lift our hands up like this, anytime the movement goes upward, the tendency is for your shoulders to want to rise, right? That's what would happen, because the body wants, the hand movement is going up, but does the body know when to relax and when not to lift the shoulders? But if the shoulders go up a bit, when you get to the top, what you have to do, you have to relax the shoulders. You have to reseat the shoulders. So while there's movement going up, there is movement going down. So when you get to the top, you have to settle. Just like J Lady work shuttle shouldn't be like that. It should be relaxed, right? When you lift your arms like this, you shouldn't lift the shoulders first. You should lift as if the wrist is like floating up. But then you have to relax the elbow and the shoulder for that to happen. So relaxing the shoulder and sinking the elbow is a very important concept. And that happens in everything. So you have to, say stork flaps wings. When you turn and you lift, you're lifting and then you're settling here. You see, when you turn, you have to settle again, because your elbows and shoulders have to be tied together. Now if the elbow sinks, the hand will respond based on that position. So my hands are here, which is kind of stiff. You can see there's just some rigidity. When I settle or sink my elbow, the shoulder has to relax. So that's something that you have to bring into your concepts in movement. Now the thing is, if we tie the hips to the shoulders, and if you don't relax the shoulders, then you're probably not going to relax the hips, right? So if you relax the shoulders, then you have to see if your hips are relaxing. Because without even being conscious of those things happening, the body will never recognize it, because the body doesn't know what to do. You're learning it here, through information, but you have to teach your body what to do, when the body will pick up on it. So you learn, visually, you learn through experience, and you learn through repetition. So if you want to relax your shoulders, so everybody get the hands up here, and then feel what it is like to release. It means let your shoulders go, but the shoulder is not the only part that has to go down. The shoulder girdle, the clavicle area, your shoulder blades have to be part of that movement. Because if you just relax the shoulder, doesn't mean that this is relaxed. So this is your torso, but there's, it's like a quadrant. So that has to let go, so that you feel like the center of mass is descending. The center of mass dropping allows you to become more centered here. Now the other thing is, because we work in this space, it's really a piece of the pie. Everything happens here. When we turn here, it's still happening there. You turn here, it's still happening. But that's called a relative position. So if we're doing J-Lady work shuttle, and we turn to this corner, we turn to this corner. That movement is just like I did this movement, or this movement. Now, your body has to kind of figure that out as you're moving through the space. So when you're moving through space, it's just a mapping of the movement. But everything is in your frontal direction. Single whip, if I go to that corner, it's here. If single whip's here, it's the identical movement. But we lose track of the angular positions in the space. So, but how do you not rely on the space? You rely on your body. Because we know the position, like in the beginning of the form, we know we're turning that way. So we turn the feet, we shift the weight, and we maneuver the hip joints and all the connected parts that take us 90 degrees here. We know we're going back here. You break it into two 45-degree positions. And then we're back to here. So it's all measured out from the sole of your feet to the top of your head. It's all measured out. That's what muscle memory is, which is really skeletal memory. So as we start to, get those concepts embodied, then it becomes, systemic. It's in your body. It knows what to do when it's supposed to. And that's what part of learning Tai Chi helps you develop. And then how much strength part of it, using your mind, intent and not strength, is measuring the amount of strength to get that movement to happen. So that becomes partly experience in your system learning and deleting the excessiveness. So excessiveness is isolated, it's rigid, and it doesn't allow the joints to relax. So when we say relax, we mean to release the joints. So I'm just talking about these. They're joints all over your body. You have to learn to let go of those, and then the body will start to, feel what it feels like to relax or let go, and then it starts to create the motion. So the neuromuscular connection becomes, really heightened to create the correct motor skill. So when we're here, this is parallel positions, elbow down. When we're here, we have the hoop. So this is what we measure every time we hold the position. And then over time, that pattern becomes ingrained in your system. These become consistent. Where to sink the elbow, where to bring the palms in, when to turn the corners, when to open it, when to close it. It all becomes out. When do you form the fists? When do you pull back and go forward? So you might see that going forward and back is a little bit of a swing, but that's because if your body's relaxed, you're really pivoting off the sole of your feet or your ankle, because you can't go forward without falling over. You can't go backwards without falling over because your center of mass change. So what compensates for center of mass is the feeling and what your body, through the proprioceptive reflexes, allows the body to compensate. So that's a counterbalance give and take of how your system would work. So the different postures, you're in this position, that's a different center of mass than this. So between those two, your body starts to recognize it. And then as it starts to recognize, it starts to delete excessiveness, starts to use the correct strength to create the correct speed. So in Tai Chi, we have to do the movement slowly, consistently, even. And it's round. So movements should be circular, slow, even. And then the essence is really your body figuring out the postures and the different joints in your body when you're in those positions. When the wrist does this, that's called seating the wrist. When you release the wrist, it passes through straightness, right? That's your vertical, that's the neutral. When you let your wrist drop down, then that's the opposing to the seating. So that's relaxing. So between here and here is where you pass through in your push. You don't flex the wrist and push. you seat the wrist at the end. You seat the wrist at the end. You see? So you're doing this in your warm-ups. Seating the wrists and releasing allows you to control the strength. Seating the wrist finalizes the position and creates the structure. So what is the structure? It's your skeleton. So for every position that you have, there is a geometry to that position. So that's your skeleton, and you're learning to manipulate it, to use it effectively, efficiently, and the way it's supposed to be moving. No. At the end, yeah. Yeah. Because it's a cycle. If you seat before it, then you create a rigidity. Because you preset the position. So you're like, would you push a wall by stiffening your arms and try to... So the seating the movement is at the end. Yeah. See? So here. If I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So that's... So in striking, you don't strike like that. You strike like that. You see? Like that. So when you push, it's the finalization of it. It's only an instant. Even, yeah. It's because the energy is manifested to the fingers. So when you push someone, if I'm like this, when I go like this, it's really my legs. But what happens with the legs is that it's pushing forward, but you have to create the force there on impact. So when you come forward, your hands would do that. So if my hand did this, the movement becomes this, right? So this becomes seating. This is actually pulling down. So if I use Eric's arm as a sample, you would see if I went like this and I did this, it would be like that. It would be, creating that force there. So how that force is generated is from the legs. So it comes from here to here. Now you see this creates a momentum directionally. So it's like a hip chuck. If you bump into someone and you just do that, doesn't seem like much, but they're doing it in hockey all the time or any of these sports. When you're next to your opponent, and I want to disrupt his stance, and I'm here, there's a shoulder. If it's my leg, there's my leg. So if he's in the leaning stance, say, and I come into a position like this, and I go like this, you can see that there's force there. Well, the force comes from this, because here creates that. That's only very little distance. But what else happens when you go forward? When I'm here and I turn, you see the turn? When I turn and I transition weight to here, this leg becomes heavier because I transition weight. It also creates a mechanical downward direction because of the sinking of my knee and the folding at the ankle. So none of that should be resisted by the joint. So you have to relax. Yeah, so that's why your legs move, and that's why your body turns, because the turning of the body, when my hands are like this, and I turn, is it my arms moving, or my legs and torso moving? It's the legs and the torso. Because when this turns, you create force. In fact, you create distance. So when I'm here,